Well, how are you doing today, ma'am?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, beautiful?
I am wonderful. I was just giving people a little bit of an intro as to who you are. I'm going to go ahead and reintroduce you with you right here, just with some of the things that I found out about you. So, guys, this is Miss Destiny Payton. She is actually an OWN network TV personality. She is, and I'm really excited to talk about this girl. You have one of the first African American beauty supply stores in Alabama. Like, totally want to get into that. You've
Okay.
also recently been on the Nikki Rich show, and I know about
Mhm.
Nikki Rich. She's doing her thing out here, and she's actually an ambassador for the Oprah Winfrey Network. So I totally see your alignment and the different things that you're doing. Congratulations to you. But with that being said, I did just want to jump in and ask about the beauty supply store. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, Madani Beauty is the first ever African American owned beauty supply store and salon suites in Alabama, and the first in Huntsville of its kind. And I didn't set out for that to be the case. I just knew that I wanted to get into the beauty industry, and I knew that beauty supply was it. And then I started finding out that there were a lot of firsts, and
Yeah.
I'm grateful to be one of the first.
The reason why that is so very fascinating to me is because that market seems super cornered by people who are of Asian descent. And I think it's fabulous when we're able to set up Black owned businesses, especially ones that are difficult to get into. Like, that's a tough industry, girl. So, congratulations on that. That tells us a lot about your character, and the type of ambition that you have on the entrepreneurial side. So, I
Thank
do
you.
have some questions just about business finance, but before I get into that, can you tell us about your new single? Because I've
Ah,
been listening to it. I'm actually going to make a reel
yeah.
for it, just so you know. I'm totally going to make a reel for the
Ah,
song.
okay. I
On
love it.
10, just to
Hashtag
give you
on
the
10.
vibes. but tell us a little bit about it. How can people find it?
So my single is called On 10. It's my first ever single released. I've been singing since I was 6 years old and pursuing the dream of acting and singing. And so this is my first time ever putting out any of my art. And so you can find it on all the streaming platforms, from Spotify to iTunes to YouTube. You can find it on all the streaming platforms. And it's called On 10 by Destiny Payton.
Yes. Destiny, write it in the comments so that I can pin it. And if you want any other information, go ahead and put that in there too. Um, while you do that, girl, I just want to let you know I have been listening to your song and I look forward to making that real. Ooh, it looks like we may have lost her for a second, guys. Okay, there she's back. Okay.
I'm back.
Okay. um
Okay.
now now let's get into some stuff pertaining to entrepreneurship. I want to get your thoughts on a few things. Um, my goal, Destiny, is to collaborate with more women on my platform. I
Okay.
built my platform, pretty much from being the sexy sensei, right? The sexy professor. So it's a lot of men on my platform, girl. So my
Okay.
goal is to create more synergy and some have conversations with people like yourself, people who are beautiful but also have brains and are ambitious, entrepreneurial. So this is wonderful to have you here. And with that being said, I'll jump into my first question, which is, tell us a little bit about yourself and, what is like your main mission right now?
You kind of broke up. What was like the main what?
So the question was, tell us a little bit about yourself and what your main mission is. Like, what are you really like working on right now?
So, a little bit about Destiny is I am a lover of all things beauty. I'm a businesswoman first. I have like no balance, so I'm like either all creative or all business.
Okay. One of
um,
those types. Okay.
yes, and so I find I have to find my balance every day in everything that I do. But as far as my purpose right now with the beauty business, with the brand of Madani, my goal is to franchise the brand.
Okay.
I have so many people reaching out to me and in my DMs on how to get into the beauty supply industry or how to get into the beauty industry. And so now I'm curating a course and also a tour for people to be able to come out and get that information. And then I will then walk them through the process and have them hand it over like a business. So turnkey style. So
Okay.
really all you have to do is go through the educational process and follow the things that I put in place for you to open up your business, whether it be a brick and mortar or it be an online store. So that has become my purpose. It's no longer about me just building legacy and wealth. It's about me helping my community do the same with the business that's a multi-billion-dollar business, and we are less than 3% of owners.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, guys, just to put it in perspective, what Destiny is talking about is helping you become entrepreneurial, make money from home without you having to do the heavy lifting. And let me tell you why that's going to be so important, because the times in which we are approaching, I'm sure you guys are paying attention to all the different things happening here in the US when it comes to inflation, how much different markets are shifting, the stock market, the housing market, your food, being able to go and get gas. So we're approaching a time where tons of shifts are happening. And what's going to be super important is that you have more control than you have right now as to how your money is coming in. All right. If you are relying on that paycheck, from the man, whoever the man is to you, listen, my friend, 12, 24 months from now, that system may not be in place. And I don't care if you're a doctor, a lawyer, I don't care if you are both, my baby. Okay? You're going to have to put yourself in the position to have more control over your financial future. So, Destiny, what you're doing in that sector is awesome. Keep me posted as to how that goes, how I can possibly help. That
Okay.
sounds beautiful and amazing. Okay.
Yes.
So,
I definitely need a credit specialist on that journey with me.
yeah, absolutely. So what we have done here at Professor Honey's Credit and Lending is we have helped people, entrepreneurs, start their small businesses and build their business credit portfolios. So we help them generate that Paydex score. The Paydex score, guys, is a credit score attached to your business. So it's completely separate from your personal. Your personal score goes from 300s to the 800s. Your business credit score goes from 0 to 100. Right. So what we do is we help new business owners get that Paydex score somewhere up above 80. And then we help them leverage that, right? So that they can get access to credit, they can get access to funding for that business. So totally, keep me posted. I'd love to help you with that journey. My next question to you, Destiny, is if you can just tell me about a time when you've seen your family face a problem when it comes to their credit or finances, or something that you've seen inside of the Black community that really was like, damn, we got to do better. Can you recall any time that it really stood out for you, that there needs to be a change?
Um, I have a couple of incidents, but the one that stands out to me the most is predatory lending, and they do target low income, elderly African
Yes,
American people.
yes,
I had an incident where a family member of mine had a car, and all of a sudden they just sent a repossession letter, and the payments were on time. They were coming out continuously, and they had like a balloon payment of you owe $10,000. If you don't pay the $10,000, we were going to come and repossess the car. And then when I was delving into that situation, another my friend's family member actually had a car that she paid off repossessed from her, and another elderly black woman, and it was just like, what? Yes, actually taken from her, and it's a known company. They are known for doing this, and this is how they get their their vehicles back. They get the money at the end. They get more money than what they're owed, and so that really stood out to me. And credit one here in Huntsville with Maurice Scott. He's an attorney for predatory lending. A lot of people don't know what he does, and he has definitely been a proponent for helping the community and elderly people that are being railroaded. So that stood out to me, like, whoa, how many more people has this happened to?
Yeah, guys, just to give you a context as to what predatory lending is, and like Destiny said, it is flowing like cancer through our Black and brown communities. It's preying on us and debilitating our ability to create generational wealth. But essentially,
Purposefully,
anytime you go to purchase, let's say, a car or to purchase a home, you want to get a reasonable interest rate. Now, many of you may not even know what the heck an interest rate means, right? You hear 10% and you're like, that sounds good to me, because you don't understand what that means. So when it comes to a car, guys, you want to make sure that your interest rate is somewhere between 3 and 5%. After you get past that 5% mark, now you're starting to talk about predatory types of interest rates. Predatory interest rates often mean, especially when it comes to your car, that you're going to end up paying more in the interest than the value of the damn car. Okay? So if your car, the principal is $25,000, well, depending on the type of interest rate that you have, you can end up paying $30,000 in the interest plus the 25 in principal. So now you're totally upside down in this car, and you had no idea because you didn't know. You thought 15% sounded cool. You was like, shit,
because the payment was where you
80%.
wanted it to be, but you didn't realize you would have paid the car off in 4 years versus 8. But you have so much interest, so your note is low, but you're paying forever.
That's right. That's right. And most of that money is going toward the interest as opposed to the principal. So people who typically have really low credit scores, who get cars from car lots versus car dealerships, those are the types of people who typically are locked into those types of predatory loans, those interest rates. So that leads me to say, guys, if you happen to be someone that has a 500, 600 credit score, please take the time to work on it, get that score higher. You can come to me, go to somebody else that you trust, but definitely get that score up over a 670 so that you can either refinance out of that predatory loan that you're in or get yourself a whole nother vehicle. Okay, yes. Now, next question. What would you say are your main financial goals, or is your main financial goal over this next 9 to 12 months? Like the number one thing that you're wanting to accomplish?
The number one thing that I want to accomplish is what my goal was when I first opened the business, which happened right before the pandemic, and so that was derailed. To a certain extent, is to make sure that Madani is a 7-figure business.
Woo!
Yes, that is my goal.